There we are. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know how things are sounding and looking. We're going to be trying this different camera right here using the Osmo Pocket 3. I've tried streaming with it before and I was having issues, but I think I might have resolved it. It was not working well with OBS initially, so I think I've figured it out. I've got the backup, the FaceTime camera if we need to go that route, but I want to experiment with this setup. So looks good. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Jonathan, Pete, Kevin, Jim, appreciate y'all being here. Benji, I was running late tonight. Bedtime routine was taking longer than usual, so I was walking out of the house at about 8:57. So it took me a minute to get things set up here, but I'm actually going to be doing, well, I think I'm going to in one of the next vlogs or something. I might just share my setup here for the overhead camera and just the whole streaming setup, because after all of the tinkering, it's starting to get to a point where it's pretty streamlined and I have it set up pretty well. Using the Z8 here as the B camera, I've also changed up a little bit of the settings here for this, and hopefully everything will still look good. So what would we like to look at tonight to start off with? I haven't even had time today to think about what kind of books I wanted to look at, so if anybody has any recommendations to start off, feel free to shout them out, but otherwise I'm just gonna look until I find something. There we go, make sure it's good. One of your earliest favorites. Have you seen or have Greg Girard's book? I don't have Greg Girard's book. The name sounds familiar, but I don't have anything from Greg Girard. Any skate photo books? I do have some skate photo books. We've looked at a few on stream before. I think it might have been last week or the stream before, we looked at Grant Britton. We might pull up a different skate photography book here in a bit. One of your earliest favorites. Tell you what, we'll what's the saying? Get two birds stoned at once. We're gonna take a look at Jai Tanju with a camera from Mark. That's gonna be kind of answering both there, because this was one of my first photo books ever, and it's also skateboard adjacent. So Jai Tanju is a photographer that got this camera, Pentax. I believe that's a K1000. Might be one of the Spotmatics or something. It's kind of hard to tell in this photo, and I'm not familiar with them enough. But this book, this camera, A Camera from Mark, that's the title of it. These are all photos made with this camera that Mark Johnson gave to him. It's one of the very first photo books I ever bought. This was, yeah, self-published in 2007. That's a photo of Mark Johnson right there. Everything about, let me see, yeah, it's a Pentax Spotmatic. with 4 lenses. There was a 35 f2.8, a 50 1.4, and a 135 f3.5, and a 17 millimeter fisheye. And he gave this camera to Jai, and then all of the photos that came from it. This was such a early inspiration for me in terms of just turning the camera on your friends and photographing your friends. Let me lower this camera a little bit. 1 second. This is with a camera from Mark. Let me grab a little something here. Bring this down. Whoops. Might get dizzy. There we go. That'll work better for this book. It's a little bit smaller. Let's see. Do you have Jasper? Hey, Dan. Good to see you. I do have Jasper. Maybe we'll take a look at that one after this. Javier, good to see you. Finally made it to the live stream. Greetings from Canada. Well, hey, we're looking at photo books, so I know you'll appreciate this one. I still haven't gotten around to do my top 10 books of 2024. At this point, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope you enjoy this video, or the stream. We're taking a look at With a Camera from Mark from Jai Tanju. This is, this kind of thing is one of the early, like, just relatable and accessible kinds of photo books, where very simple in terms of equipment. As he stated, this was just a camera given to him, and then a few lenses that came along with it, a few prime lenses, and just photographing the people in your life, all black and white. And the book itself, like I don't know if that's translating. It's printed on like novel type paper. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a super high end printing book or printed book. The paper itself feels, it feels like a book that you would read a novel in. And I always loved that about it. I love how just, I don't know, something accessible about that I really, really like. Kevin, thank you, man. Says this reminds me I need to make myself a good bookshelf. Yeah, I really need to, I don't know. I mentioned it last week on the stream, and you'll see it in a video, most likely going up tomorrow, but having to change the bookshelf from what it was to how it is now, that one almost got me. So I'm going to keep the books where they're at. I learned my lesson from trying to move things around so much, but I do want to make like a permanent bookshelf at some point. This photo right here is so good. So the perspective here is wild. This is like, it appears to be, I don't know if necessarily that's out a window. This looks like it could just be him climbing some poles of some kind, but you're looking down. So up here, kind of out, and then looking straight down. But with the angle of everything being straight on, the transition, like these banks right here, and then the curve of the street, this is such a good, just perfectly composed photo. I love this one. Oh, it's so good. Kevin, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Says, damn, he did good with those portraits. Dude, they are all... That's the thing, like, this book, there's something about it that I think it really is that, like, back to basics. It doesn't need to be anything fancy or expensive. Like, The camera, the lenses, just simple black and white photography that is done well. And it's portraits, it's skate photography, it's everything in between. Yeah, super, super good. And I have no idea how easy it would be to find a copy of this. Um, if anyone wants to check, like Abe Books or maybe Amazon, this is one of the very first photo books I ever bought. Had it for, wow, that's crazy. 18 years. Is that right? Am I doing my, no. Is that right? Has it been 18 years since 2007? Oh, God. That's crazy. Yeah. So I've had this one for a while. There's another one of Mark Johnson, the one who gave him the camera. Photos of him skating back here. This is with a camera from Mark. And Jai, Jai, Tanju. Found it online for $19.99 on Lulu. Dang. Not sure if it's a... I was going to say, I've never heard of that site. Amazon has it for 70. Shoo! 70 bucks. That's tough. I probably paid 30 or so when I bought it, but dang. It is good though. What's up, Matt? Joining a few late again after my weekly mountain bike club ride. Hell yeah. Mountain biking is terrifying to me, so good on you for that. I've got friends that do it, and I feel like I'd get smoked pretty quick. Probably on the used market, I'm sure. Yeah. If you can find a used copy of this book, yeah, it's a good one. I mean, if you like skateboarding, it's full of that, but at the same time, there's just it's the kind of stuff I think we all like. It's you take a camera with you everywhere. Always loved that one. Matt, I'm also Ohio based. I've been through Chillicothe quite a few times. I'm located northwest of Columbus. Oh, right on. Clayton, if that's your first name. Where are you at in up northwest of Columbus? Columbus for me, yeah, it's like a 45-minute drive, just straight down from Columbus. So Matt single-handedly making prices go through the roof. I don't. I would hope not. I usually try to tell people, be sensible about buying books and selling books as well. It's a great time. I'm getting smoked by the guys in their 60s. Yeah, I feel that. There's a friend of ours owns a bike shop here in Chillicothe, and the amount of riders that we see coming through there that are well into retirement and they're still going. I love it. I need to expand my collection. Yeah, I mean, start small. Like as I mentioned, I've been buying these for a long time, so I don't have I'm not buying tons of books all at once. It's a slow growth kind of thing. Tim, good to see you, dude. Did you catch Willem's Jerry Sue vid? Yes, I did. I immediately texted him and I was like, "You didn't tell me you were doing a Jerry Sue video?" I was like, "I was buying that guy's pro shoe when I was like 15." Super, super good. Yeah, I love that he was able to do that. Clayton, oh, up in Indian Lake, right on, man. I've never been personally, but I've heard of it. Super social. We ride about 10 miles and head back to the back shop. Wow, back to the bike shop, grill, and have a few beverages. See, that's what's rad. The social aspect of it. Molly started a run club here in Chillicothe, and they do it at 50 West at the brewery. And Molly, she doesn't drink anymore, but she, like, everyone there, and they have like non-alcoholic drinks and stuff at 50 West, plus just regular, soft drinks, food. But everyone meets there, and then they go run, and then afterwards, a lot of people usually grab food. Some people grab drinks, and everyone just hangs out. It's always a good time. Matt and Willem need to do a co-stream. That would be fun. I was just telling Tyler today that I told Willem next time he comes over, if we make a video together, it's just going to be having him teach me how to change the oil in my truck. Because he's the automotive person, and I have never been. I'm like, I go to Valvoline to get my oil changed. They could tell me my car's got oogie boogies under the hood, and I'd go, yeah, sounds about right. Do whatever you need to do. I know nothing about cars, so I was like, let's do something completely unrelated, but also something that could maybe someone could learn from if I'm going to be learning. Hi, Matt. It's Asa. What's up, Asa? Thanks for being here, dude. I haven't seen you in a while. Honestly, the William Eggleston book I bought, Mystery of the Ordinary, is already selling for several $100, and really, I am not sure I would pay that much for it. I totally get what you mean. There have been times where I've sold books that the price had gone way higher than I had bought it, originally, and some of the books I would just hang on to. Some of the books I sold just for what I paid, but there were books that I was like, well, I could really use the extra money to help pay a bill here, so I'll let go of this book if people are really, really wanting it that bad. Chris, good to see you, man. Yes, better late than never. Absolutely. We are taking a look at With a Camera from Mark, one of my very first books that I ever got in 2007. Always loved these. This one reminded me a lot of Dog Run, which I think we've taken a look at a couple of times on the streams. It's come up a few times at least. Oh yeah, San Jose. I don't know if anyone watching is in the area, but that's a lot of this stuff, I'm sure, was San Jose. A lot of the people here, a lot of that crew of skateboarders, Tilt Mode, all kind of in that area. Pretty rad. Yeah, San Jose, California. Jim, I'm in the Bay Area. Oh, right on. I'm going to grab Jasper. I think we're going to take a look at that one next. Chris, how'd bedtime go this week? That's actually what I was talking about when I hopped on. You're actually right on time because we started about 10 minutes late because bedtime was we started bedtime a little later than usual. Weather's too nice. We were all outside. We didn't realize how late it had gotten, so a good problem to have. So this is Jasper by Matthew Genetempo. Dan, if you're still here, this one's for you. Got a little print that this one came with. Matthew Genetempo. Couple little business cards here. And a nice print along with it. Anytime I pick up a book and it comes with like an artist print, I often just keep it with the book instead of framing it like I probably should. But I always look at it as like this is part of it. This is part of the collectible aspect of it. Cam Mackey, thank you so much for the super chat and for being here. Absolute legend. Appreciate you, man. Dan, definitely one of my favorites. Not at all jealous of the print. I haven't looked at Jasper in a while, so as soon as you recommended it, I was like, yeah, let's run that one back. If you like books with a lot of atmosphere, or photos in general with a lot of atmosphere, this book is full of it. Love that. That's my problem with the Sage book I bought. I kind of want to frame the print, but it's part of the book. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. The Galveston book I got from Jason Lee has a couple postcard prints, and they're super rad. Yeah, exactly. Those are the kind of things that, like, any little prints or little press material, things like that, I never, like, separate it from the book. I like keeping it all together, and anytime I pick it up, getting to see that again is always rad. Julian, I totally missed that. What's up? Always love the detail with the eye in the glasses on this one. It's another one I love. I don't know if you can tell just based off the posture, but from that distance there you can kind of see it more clearly, kind of walking, leading with the rifle. Jonathan, some of these photos could be album covers for some black metal album. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, right there, it's carved in, if this is metal or glass that it's reflected off of. can see it says Goat Killer. I mean, that sounds like a black metal band. Kevin, yes, this is Jasper by Matthew Genetempo. Let me put that in the chat real quick, actually. Never thought about that, but I'll try to start remembering to do that. Adding in the chat there the actual title of some of these books, because sometimes I'll just see it on the chat and I'm like, oh yeah, and I just grab it and start yapping that way if anyone's interested. Have you gone through Dog Breath? I have it and it's so sick. I actually don't have Dog Breath. I wanted to pick that one up, but just wasn't in the budget at the time. And wherever, I'm sure it was Baltimore Photo Space, the last time I looked to see if it was in stock, it wasn't. But that is one that I wanted to get. I have Mother of Dogs. I think that's what it's called, if I remember right. I have that one, and it's super good. I love this right here. Just the stacks of the VHS tapes and whatever was being played on the screen, I mean, just looks like a still image. Oh, Chris, you are too kind. I appreciate that. It's a super chat. Add this to the Dog Breath Fund. I will absolutely seek it out and make sure I secure a copy so that we can all we can all look at it on stream just for that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, Mother of Dogs. That one is. I've assumed that one would be hard to get. I remember that one selling very fast, and then I don't know. It seemed like, I don't know if that one ever was reprinted. Now that I think about it, but um, I remember getting messages about that one. Anytime I've mentioned that I'm like thinning out the book collection and trying to make room and funds for new books, that's usually one that people bring up. Oh, wow. Julian says, you have my dream book, I Love You, I'm Leaving by Matt Eich. He said he's in talks of doing another release in 2027. That I didn't know, but that's amazing. I know we looked at that one on stream before. Were you here for that one, Julian? Because if not, well, yeah, you said I have it, so you probably were here. Oh, it's so good. So good. That's one that I'll never ever part with. Believe it or not, I have a copy of Matt's fourth and final book in his series. Is it We the Free? I believe is the title. That just arrived not too long ago, and he's going to be joining me on the channel for a conversation all about that book. So super excited that he's going to be on the channel, and I'm excited to pick his brain about everything. Yes, that's the one, Julian. That's the book. As a matter of fact, we can take a look at it here on stream together here in just a minute, because I haven't even opened it up yet, so that would be fun. Matt, loaded question, but do you have any more skate photography books? Yes, I do. Many more. Do you think I should do a video, like a dedicated video on just skate photo books that I have? Because I've thought about doing that before, but I don't know. Let's see. Matt Seal. Someone should let this dude know his printer is out of color ink. Yeah, without a doubt. But that's the thing. Anytime I shoot black and white, I never regret that choice. You know what I mean? Skaters just seem to like making books. That is a fact. There is without a doubt something about well, I mean, I think it's because skateboarding is so tied to physical media with skate magazines, and like the history, the progression of skating, the culture of skating, skate magazines before the internet, that was the only way it was all, you know, being shared, aside from physically going to demos and contests, or, you know, that sort of thing. That was how you immersed yourself in it, and that's where a lot of the photography, it was shot with the magazine in mind. There was an end goal in place, or end goal in mind. So that's without a doubt, you know, got to be linked to it, because skate photographers, or just skateboarders in general, I think there's a lot of people who, a lot of hoarders within skateboarding. People like to collect the physical things. Yes, Javier, or no, it's not just you. This book, or these photos, it is all a very low contrast kind of feel, and that's partly because of the paper that it's printed on. So you can kind of see the sort of matte texture of the paper. It doesn't have a gloss or any kind of coating or anything over the paper, so it is a very flat, low contrast printing, but I would have to assume that was done with intention, because I do think it fits this style of work. So Jonathan, what do you think about Reynolds' New Balance shoe? Considering I'm in my mid-30s and he is like my idol in many ways, I went to order a pair immediately, but they were all sold out in my size. So I've told Molly that would be a fantastic Father's Day gift if it can happen. So so we'll see if Dad gets a new pair of New Balance for Father's Day. Yeah, they look amazing. Anything Reynolds does, I can't say anything he does as if the man is impossible of doing anything wrong, but anything he's done, I've pretty much been like, yep, that's great. So that's Jasper. First edition, limited to 2,000 copies. This was in 2018. Published by Twin Palms Publishers. Wow, I didn't think it would make that much difference, but it looks almost foggy. Yeah, I mean, there probably was a decent amount of like fog in some of those photos, because there is a heavy atmosphere, but yeah, a lot of what you might be seeing is all just due to the printing. So that definitely makes a big difference in the final image for sure. So, yeah, love that one. What were we going to look at next? Oh, We the Free. Yeah, 1 minute. Just as we were talking about, a little Oak Press sticker comes along with the book. Daniel, thanks for being here, man. We are about to crack the seal on a brand new book from Matt Eich, We the Free. And this is the fourth and final book in his series. I believe it's titled The Invisible Yoke. So there are 4 books in this. 1 minute. This is the only one I have in those 4 out of the entire series. I believe he's selling like a 4-book slipcase collection of all of them, which looks amazing. Oh, yeah. Julian says, appreciate you being willing to open this for us. Absolutely. That's the thing. I knew I would eventually, and I you know, a lot of what we're going to be talking about when Matt comes onto the channel is all about this work specifically. So let's see, bring it down a little bit more. I'm getting pretty good at lowering this this grip arm. There we go. Dan, no, I don't have any of the Mark Power Good Morning America books, though. That's another one where I think I was talking to my friend Kevin about it once. I was like, that's a series that if I buy one book, I know I'm going to want to buy all of them, and I'm not ready for that level of commitment because I know if I just see one on my shelf, it's going to drive me crazy, and I'm going to want all of them. Like this, you see there, it's volume 4 of The Invisible Yoke, and this one is titled We the Free. Starts off by saying, to my fellow Americans, may we live by love, not fear. And then we have, looks like a poem titled A New National Anthem by Ada Limon. Damn. Love that one. The look on that girl's face was intense. Wow. Love the way this is framed. Yeah, this is my very first time seeing this, so I'm probably gonna be pretty quiet on this first flip through because I'm sucked in right now. Vince, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. These feel like they could make several books. Yeah, it's with it being a collection of 4 books in the series, it would be really interesting to see all of them together cuz yeah, I don't know enough context about this book yet. Um, Matt reached out about if I would be interested in checking out a copy of the book because he had seen videos I had made about photo books, which was trippy for me to for him to reach out because I've been such a fan of his work for so long now. So I'm excited to sit down and talk with him about everything, and we haven't had that conversation yet. So as we're sitting here talking and looking at this together, I'm like in my head thinking, okay, I've got so many questions, and I don't. Yeah, I'm excited to talk with him for sure. Julian says he's such a well-rounded photographer because this work is so different from I Love You, I'm Leaving. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, it feels visually, it's different. I feel like certain certain things, at least with the people in the photos, it's like I can feel it feels like his work, but yeah, it is very different. That is one of the wildest photos ever. The timing on that one, like, phew, that's wild. I appreciate the sense of humor. Man in uniform returning home to reality. Yeah, the variety of seemingly everything in this book has got me with so many questions. That's usually a good sign when I'm sitting down with a book for the first time and I'm like, if I'm coming away with more questions than anything, and I'm going to want to sit back down with it again, it's usually a good sign. Chris, I can't stop wondering what he does to get into these situations. There is a book by Curran Heidelberg. Um, what is it? River's Dream. I have it over there. The title isn't on the spine, so I can't just look at it. I believe that's what it's called. That's one that looking through it kind of feels like a fever dream. Knit Club by Carolyn Drake is another one. Uh, do I still have that one? Let me see. I don't see it. I might have sold Knit Club by Carolyn Drake to a friend. Now that I think about it, um, it's a really good one though. I don't have room for for all of the books that I love. Um, yeah, last book was dreamy. This is definitely fever dream. Yeah, we've got to look at that Curran Heidelberg book because it's wild. You want to feel like seeing it up close for context. It's the thing that no matter how much I show of any book, um, you really got to be able to see it in your hand, you know? First time in Matt's live stream for me, pretty quiet. Yeah, you caught us right now at a time where we're looking at a book for the very first time. So I just opened this one up and taking it all in. Usually I'm yapping quite a bit. Chris, have you done any Tim Carpenter books on the live stream yet? I feel like he's a nice balance to this work. I have. I think I've done. I'm pretty sure I have shared Bucks Pond Road, or maybe it was Little. I can't remember. Um, I'll be honest. I had a friend basically say that they were Cool Guide by him on more than one occasion, and ever since then I'm like, oh, that's really disheartening to hear when you hear someone's not just a cool person in real life. It can be a bummer. Julian, do you know which of his books follows the story of a vet returning home and going through the thralls of his relationship problems with his wife? No, I don't. I don't know that one, but that sounds incredible. Oh, see, Chris, that's encouraging to hear. Then yeah, I would hope it would be an isolated incident or incidences, I guess in this case, but I don't know. Everyone's different. Everyone's got their own things. I've yet to meet him in person, so I would hope so. I would hope so. Javier, do you follow any photojournalists? I do. I mean, there are a lot of different photographers I follow that some do photojournalism just when they're able to. Some I follow that I don't personally know that do it full time. Um, what's it? Is it Frank Thorpe does a lot of stuff in Washington D.C. that is really really beautiful work. I believe that's his name, Frank Thorpe, if I remember right. I only know his work through following him on Instagram, um, but every time I see work of his, it's great. Makes you feel like you're stuck in a dream filled with a million whiplash jump cuts. That's the thing with, and I want to talk to him more when we have a call about this book. Yeah, like what is, I don't know what's going on in this photo or in this scene, but this newswoman is reporting live from something. I don't know what's going on here. Um, but yeah, this book being from a collection of four. Oh my god. I'm very, very interested in just picking his brain on this whole process. This book, the entire series. Um, I love the pairing of these. Her standing out right here so much in the light, and then this portrait standing out right in the center. That's awesome. Damn. This one's so good. Love that. Damn. Oh, that's cool. I like that, following this explosion, going from that to that. Just says parking $20 when they're covering themselves and the baby. Yes, I do have a few copies of his seasonal blues uh, little series. That's been a big inspiration for me in wanting to put out smaller things that are like smaller runs, more affordable books or zines, whatever it may be. He's been a big like inspiration in wanting to do that. Just having a steady outlet, you know, the in between photos that aren't necessarily like for a specific book or a project. Um, I feel like having an outlet like that would do me a lot of good in terms of like giving a home to a lot of the photos that I've made that I just think I don't know where this goes or where this fits, you know. I just really love this pairing. The colors together, the pose of each subject. Yeah. All right, I'm going to read this since we've all looked at it together. It is 2024 in America. I am 37 years old. Through the course of making these photographs, my relationship to America and the medium of photography has grown heavier. What was once a creeping feeling, a gnawing worry, has now been made fully visible. My country is broken, and I fear it may be beyond repair. If you still believe the myth, you aren't paying attention. The America of these photographs is gone, replaced by something darker, more paranoid, more self-destructive. For many, it has always been a difficult and unjust land. When I look at these images, I think about how quickly time passes, how soon we will all be gone from this earth, and life will go on in all its beauty, all its terribleness. I think about how heavy it feels to move through this world, but how light my efforts are when made tangible in the form of photographs. They are light as air, like smoke, unable to change a damn thing. Despite my predisposition towards despair, I hope that America's arc can drift towards peace, justice, equity, and sustainability. While the photographs are inextricable from how I feel, they are meant to be about something more, a search for a shared humanity, an intimacy with strangers, the desire for an expanded empathy. Matt Eich, Charlottesville, Virginia, May 2024. Okay, and here we have context, at least to some of context, location, date, and a little bit of info on some of them. Others, looks like some are just untitled. But yeah, as well as some acknowledgments. Right on. So that was We the Free by Matt Eich. If you're just now joining or if you missed it when I shared it, I'll be joined by Matt on the channel soon. We originally were going to be doing it, I think, middle of this month, but we had stuff come up and I wasn't able to do it yet. But hopefully soon he'll be joining me and he'll be on the channel. Javier says he hopes for better, but it doesn't look hopeful. It looks jarring, maybe angry. Yeah, I think understandably so. I think that goes into what he was saying there in the end. You want the best for your country and for everyone involved. But love isn't always pretty in that way. it can be frustrating to see a lot of things being done to the country and the people that cause it, but you still want the best for those people, you know? Um, so it's tough. And especially right now, I applaud any photographers who are willing to draw attention to that and not be afraid to show those feelings towards it, you know, because it's complicated. Rakesh, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Daniel, the $20 reminds me of the dozens of signs you see driving around Circleville during Pumpkin Show. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that was what I thought of as well. Was parking in someone's driveway and giving them $20 last time I went to Pumpkin Show. Did you see number 58 on that list was from Athens? Yeah, I believe. I don't know if Matt went to OU. Yes, I wondered. I thought I'd remember reading something about that, and then I saw here in the end to my professors at Ohio University for setting me on a path. I always heard great things about the photo program at Ohio University. When I was originally going to go to school to be a teacher, I was going to go to OU. I started taking my general courses at the Chillicothe branch of OU, and then I was going to transfer to Athens to actually get my teaching degree. But I was really interested in also taking as many of the art classes and photo classes that I could at OU, because that's one thing about everyone that I know that went there always spoke really highly of their photo program and also just their art program in general, and just the art scene around Athens and that county. Yeah, not Oklahoma University. Never been to Oklahoma, but Ohio University in Athens is about 45 minutes or so from where I grew up on Route 50. So used to go there quite a bit. Curran Heidelberg. That was it. This is a big one. So I'm once again going to need to raise the camera up. This is a good one. Let's see. Now, if you want to talk fever dream and looking at looking at something and just being like, what the hell and how the hell did that happen? This is one. Greg, I appreciate you saying that. Says I could see you as an art teacher, Matt. I appreciate that. When I was going into school, I was thinking I'd like to teach like American history. I wanted to be a teacher, and just based on that, like what my options were, I thought American history, high school, like something like that would be good. But nowadays, I could see going into like a photo teaching. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Matthew, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Glad you can make it. We're about to take a look at River's Dream by Curran Heidelberg. We've been taking a look at We the Free by Matt Eich. Before that, we looked at Jasper by Matthew Genetempo. And if you've never seen this one, buckle up because it's bizarre. Also, I just have to point out the detail of the red on the edges of the pages. Just love that. This is one of those books that just feels great. This photo reminded me of, it just feels like such a picture perfect like family picnic snapshot. And with the watermelon on the table after all of the bees on the watermelon previously, the look on her face to the camera, it's just so good. I have no idea what he was using to shoot this stuff, Julian. I'm not sure. Evan, yes it is. Yes it is. I haven't looked at this one in a minute either, but when we were talking about books that feel like a fever dream, this was the first one that popped to mind. Sitting in this wreckage with the snake. No idea. So many photos, it's like, yeah, you wonder. Feels like a painting, just unreal. This feels like Florida. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels like Florida. Or maybe just somewhere in the South. Love this. See the kid on the hood of the truck there. Louisiana. That might be it. I feel like I remember hearing him talk in an interview about making this work, but it's escaped me where it was specifically, but that very well could be it. Almost. This book is River's Dream by Curran Heidelberg. Let me put that in the chat. Good call. Forgot. The hell? There we go. Okay. Matthew, yes, I have. Driveways by Brian Bowen Smith. I actually sold my copy of that one. That was one that someone reached out and asked if I was interested in selling my copy because they were specifically hunting that one down. But yeah, that was a fun one. A lot of fun compositions, kind of incorporating the truck he was in, or car. I can't remember if he was in a truck. I think he was in an old truck. There's another one that I remember seeing this online, and I was like, well, I don't know what the context of the book is, and that's the only thing I had seen, but I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. It looks wild. Large format film, if I'm remembering correctly, Evan says. Okay, well, there you go. That would make sense with a lot of the detail. This book feels so much of the like really intimate moments. It feels like lifelike, like you're standing right there. Julian, thanks for hanging. See you next week. Oh, okay. Well, good looking out, Jonathan. Says it was shot across Florida, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, with some photos shot in Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, Ohio, and Maryland. Yeah, that's so many of these. It's like you really need to see it in person, and trying to allow for. Although, have there been any photos on the left this whole time? No, it's all been right hand side. I was gonna say. Yeah, it definitely does. I could see that, Jonathan, saying that looks like after a bad storm. Elvin says, finally made it to a stream. What's up, y'all? What's up, Elvin? Thanks for being here. We're taking a look at River's Dream right now. Oh, okay. Dan says it was made on a Mamiya 7. Gotcha. I have so many questions about all the dead reptiles. Yeah. Daniel, you might have heard a generator. We've got a generator at our house that sometimes does like a maintenance cycle type thing. That might have been what you heard. the light bouncing up onto this kid's face like feels like it was lit intentionally. Lit, no pun intended. Um, but it's so good. Just from the light bouncing up like off of his lap, it looks like. I just love that one. It's funny. I've seen all the years that I worked. Now, Daniel, if you're still here, that is a train. Now there's a train going in the background. But yeah, all of the flowers and everything, all the flower arrangements that get dumped behind most cemeteries, uh, I would always see that and just think, probably some photos in there. Now that I think about it, there might be some photos uh, from all the years working in the cemeteries. Love this one. That's a gator. Almost looks like a log there in the flowers. That's that. Okay, yeah. It talks a little bit about where the photos were taken in the South. So that is River's Dream by Curran Heidelberg. Dan says, I saw his prints in San Francisco and part of a large group show at Pier 24 Photo. Didn't care for the work as much as I thought, yet his book is one of my favorites I own. It's interesting how that changes things. I think there are definitely books that if I just saw the single image, or if I just saw a handful of the prints on a wall, uh, it wouldn't hold the same weight as the book does. So I totally get that. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, you're probably not too far. Uh, that book was a reminder that I'm not so into snakes. Yeah, I fully get that. Yeah, I've got a memory of picking up sticks at my grandma's and when I was a kid and thinking what was a stick was a snake, and I went and grabbed it by mistake. And luckily, I didn't get bit or anything, but I've never been a big fan of snakes from when I was a kid. But now, I feel like now if I saw one, seeing one out in the wild is different. I'm not as freaked out if I see one that's like if someone has a pet snake. I'm less freaked out about it now. But if I saw one in the wild, I wouldn't want to pick it up and play with it. I grew up with friends who that was what they'd want to do. You want to go out in the woods catch snakes? No, not really. We can do something else. I'm up for brainstorming, uh, but we don't need to do any of that right now. Dan says his pacing is just so damn amazing in the book. Yeah, I fully get that, or feel that. Some of the like repetition or letting a sequence play out um, over the course of two or three photos and not putting them together, everything always coming with the turn of a page. Uh, that's another interesting aspect of it. There at the end, where the woman's sitting there interacting with the praying mantis, and like just seeing the look on her face and interacting with it, uh, the photos were beautiful, but it's like that exchange or that sequence going from photo to photo to photo is what makes it, And to your point, if those were just the individual photo on the wall might not have the same impact, but noticing those little differences as you're turning the page and like feeling the actual moment taking place, again, it's just something you don't really get the same way if you're just looking at the individual photo or looking at it on a wall, I guess. So, yeah, I think. One sec. Okay, cool. Um, I'm gonna have to probably wrap this stream up. Um, gonna work on a few more things this evening, but appreciate you all being here. Other than photo books, what other collections do you have? That's a great question. Because I do the collecting thing is like that's a tendency I have for sure. So I have to be cautious about other collections or habits or hobbies. Um, I guess I really don't have like collections where it's like a complete set of something or something that I'm like actively seeking out, but I have acquired maybe a dozen or so fountain pens over the years. Probably less than that. I've sold a few as well. I'm not like a collector, but I like using fountain pens, and I like nerding out on the different kinds and different nibs and different inks and papers and all of that stuff. That's always fun. Um, that's probably it, I would imagine. Yeah, I don't really have collections of lots of prints and uh, lots of negatives and photos. It's about all I collect these days. Yeah, I feel like that's it. Um, Collecting a lot of artifacts for the museum in Pelican Town on Stardew Valley. Been doing that a lot lately. So, uh, John Stone, thank you. I appreciate that. Danny, no, I did not pre-order the Switch 2. it seems like it would have been impossible even if I wanted to, from what I've seen online. I am excited for the Switch 2, but the price of the Switch 2 and the price of the Switch 2 games, uh, we're getting a new 3D Donkey Kong game, and Donkey Kong Country, the SNES games, are like my all-time favorite. Um, so I was hyped to see that, but the price of the system, price of the games, and I know it's going to be impossible to find one anyway. When the original Switch came out, I waited probably 6 months around there before I got one because they were just impossible to find, and I wasn't about to lose sleep over it. So uh, I didn't pre-order one. Um, I know Elliot is dying to pre-order one, but I've told him he's got plenty of stuff he can play in the meantime. So one of these days, I'm sure we will. But uh, yeah, right now, all I've been playing lately anyway is Stardew Valley, and that's all I want to play. So oh, nice, Dan, you're into fountain pens as well. Yeah, they're fun, man. It's just fun to. It's another like little thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. A lot of photographers, I've found, any photographer that likes to tinker with cameras, fountain pens is a good one to dive into for sure. Yes, thank you, Chris. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, appreciate you all hanging tonight. Next Wednesday we'll be back at it. So if you got any books you'd like to see or anything you want to get into, just let me know. But until then, you guys enjoy your week, and yeah, see you guys next time.